Bryson DeChambeau went into Sunday with a lead. He went in wanting to prove a point to LIV executives. He wanted to destroy the field. Instead, the field humbled him. But the man who beat him didn't make him angry. He made him cry. Bryson swallowed his pride and gave AK his flowers. But what about the other guy in that final group? We just got the leaked audio of what Jon Rahm, who blew a massive lead of his own, said to Anthony Kim in the scoring tent after the round. Subscribe and hit the bell right now. If you want to know if Rahm handled the defeat with the same class as Bryson, click that button. Let's hear the audio. Bryson swallowed his pride and gave AK his flowers. But what about the other guy in that final group? We just got the leaked audio of what Jon Rahm, who blew a massive lead of his own, said to Anthony Kim in the scoring tent after the round. Subscribe and hit the bell right now. If you want to know if Rahm handled the defeat with the same class as Bryson, click that button.
What an incredible story, first off. Going from the lowest of lows, almost moving away from this earth and then coming back and really taking accountability and raising his little girl and being a family man and being 1% better every day. I mean, it's an inspiring story that I think honestly should have a lot more media attention than it does.
To understand the sheer magnitude of what just happened in Australia, we have to look at the specific, highly calculated words Bryson DeChambeau used after he lost the tournament to Anthony Kim. Bryson didn't just talk about fairways, birdies and bogeys. He went incredibly dark. He told the media that Kim went from the lowest of lows, almost moving away from this earth, and then coming back. Stop right there and listen to that phrasing. Moving away from this earth. That is a heavy, terrifying phrase. That isn't standard golf talk. That is life and death talk. Bryson is explicitly alluding to the 12 years of absolute silence where rumors swirled about Anthony Kim's severe personal demons, his physical injuries, and a mental health battle that nearly cost him everything. By framing Kim's return as a resurrection, rather than just a standard sports comeback, Bryson is intentionally raising the stakes. He is telling the global audience that this isn't just a game. This is a man who literally saved his own life. Why does Bryson do this? Because you can criticize a golfer for shooting a 74. You can mock a guy for missing a cut or hitting a ball into the water. But you cannot criticize a man who survived his own absolute rock bottom. Bryson is building an impenetrable narrative force field around Anthony Kim. He knows the traditional media wants to tear Kim apart. But by making the story about pure human survival, Bryson makes the critics look like heartless bullies. It's a brilliant PR move, but it only works if Kim actually wins.
It shows some of the opportunities that LIV Golf can provide and give hope to people. You know, it's another opportunity to play. And I think that's what's so brilliant about it is you got a guy like that struggled pretty much his entire career. And this is really when he has become more of himself than any other time.
But that wasn't the whole story. We have to talk about the financial reality that made this return almost impossible. Because the mainstream sports media is absolutely not telling you the whole truth about why he disappeared in the first place. For years, the reason Anthony Kim didn't play wasn't just a broken Achilles tendon or a bad thumb. It was a piece of paper. It was an insurance policy. Reports from industry insiders confirmed that Kim held a tax-free disability insurance policy worth somewhere between $10 million and $20 million. The catch was brutally simple. If he took a single professional swing in a sanctioned tournament, the policy was instantly voided. He would have to pay it all back. Think about the psychological pressure of that document. Most human beings do not bet $10 million on themselves after spending over a decade sitting on the couch. Most people take the check, fade into obscurity, and disappear into a life of quiet luxury. When Anthony Kim returned to LIV Golf in 2024, he didn't just sign a new contract. He ripped up his ultimate safety net. He looked at a guaranteed fortune, pushed it across the table, and said, "I don't want it. I want to play." This adds a profound layer of desperation and fire to his game. He isn't out there playing for fun. He isn't playing for a blast of 2008 nostalgia. He is playing to earn back the security he sacrificed just to feel the grass under his cleats again.
He loves it, and I think that's really inspiring for anybody, at any age, that you can pick it up and be a better person. So my hat's off to him for doing everything he's done, working as hard as he has to get back. I mean, he's an incredible talent, obviously. We know that. And he's starting to show it, and for him to be in the final group will be fun. And I actually haven't played with him yet, so it'll be fun to see how he golfs his ball.
And what happened next would shock everyone, because this historic win in Adelaide didn't happen overnight. In fact, the brutal reality of his initial journey is exactly what makes this victory so unbelievably sweet. When Kim first returned in 2024, let's be totally honest, he was terrible. He finished dead last in his first event in Jeddah. He looked like a guy who had never played professional golf before. He was shanking shots, missing cuts, and looking completely lost inside the ropes. In 2025, the situation got even worse. He was officially relegated. He lost his guaranteed spot on the LIV roster. The league kicked him out because his scores simply weren't good enough. A former Ryder Cup legend had to travel to the promotions event, a grueling, cutthroat qualifying school for LIV, and earn his way back against hungry, desperate 22-year-olds. Imagine the absolute humiliation. You are Anthony Kim. You are a global icon. And you are fighting for your professional life in the dirt, just to get a spot at the bottom of a team roster. But he didn't quit. He didn't demand a special sponsor's exemption from Greg Norman. He put his head down and ground it out. He finished third in the qualifier to get his card back. That specific journey, from dead last to public relegation to qualification to champion, is exactly what proves to the world that the LIV system works. It proves that a brutal meritocracy exists in the league. You cannot fully appreciate this victory without understanding the massive target that was painted on his back by the traditional sports media. When LIV Golf announced Anthony Kim's return, the PGA Tour loyalists and network analysts didn't wish him well. They mocked it. They called it a circus act. They claimed LIV was desperately digging up a washed-up celebrity just to sell a few extra tickets. The traditional media created an echo chamber where they actively rooted for his downfall. Every bad round he shot in 2024 was heavily publicized. Every missed fairway was used as proof that LIV Golf was a joke. They wanted his failure to be the final nail in the coffin for the rival league. They entirely ignored the human being swinging the club. They didn't care about the surgeries he had survived, or the mental battles he was fighting behind closed doors. They just wanted a political talking point. When he hoisted that trophy in Adelaide, he didn't just beat the field. He silenced an entire industry of critics who had spent 2 years writing his professional obituary. He forced the media to swallow their own words on live television. To truly understand the light of his present, we need to address the deep darkness of his past. In a recent, shocking social media post, Anthony Kim admitted something absolutely terrifying about his prime years on the PGA Tour. He wrote, "It's fucking hard playing majors, making porta-potty stops every few holes." He wasn't talking about taking bathroom breaks. He was talking about using substances to numb his intense physical and mental pain. He admitted that during his absolute prime, when he was setting birdie records at the Masters and looking like the undisputed next Tiger Woods, he was a high-functioning individual battling severe demons. He was playing under the influence because it was the only way his shattered nervous system could function under the crushing pressure of global expectations. The ghost of 2008 wasn't a hero. He was a tragedy in motion. When Bryson DeChambeau sees Kim now, reportedly sober, clear-headed and accountable, he isn't just seeing a golfer. He is seeing a man who killed his monsters. That flawless round in Adelaide wasn't just about perfectly struck iron shots. It was about clarity. It was about playing with a quiet mind for the first time in his professional life. How do you rewire a brain that has spent over a decade in isolation? You don't do it overnight. During his post-round interviews, Kim revealed the secret philosophy that allows him to climb out of the abyss. He called it the 1% rule. When you are facing a mountain of trauma, looking at the summit is paralyzing. So Kim stopped looking at the summit. He focused entirely on being just 1% better every single day. If he could just wake up and make one healthy decision, that was a win. If he could just hit one bucket of balls without losing his temper, that was a win. He spoke openly about finally taking accountability for the bridges he burned and the mistakes he made in his 20s. This is the psychological blueprint of a survivor. He didn't chase perfection. He chased progress. He focused on raising his little girl, being a devoted family man, and letting the golf game slowly rebuild itself in the background. That 1% compound interest over 3 years is what built the champion that stepped onto the Grange Golf Club. But even with a rebuilt mind and a rebuilt swing, Anthony Kim needed an opportunity. And after surviving the promotions event, he was a man without a home. He had a tour card, but he didn't have a team. Enter Dustin Johnson. When Patrick Reed vacated his spot on the Four Aces, DJ had a massive decision to make. He could have signed a young, hotshot college kid. He could have poached someone from the Asian Tour. Instead, he threw a lifeline to the ultimate wild card. He signed Anthony Kim. This move fundamentally changed Kim's environment. For 12 years, Kim was completely isolated. Now he was thrust into a brotherhood. He had teammates, he had guys to eat dinner with, practice with, and share the burden of the road with. Dustin Johnson didn't just give him a roster spot. That locker room camaraderie provided the exact structural safety net Kim needed to stop worrying about his past and start focusing entirely on the pin. If you want to know what true unapologetic independence looks like, all you have to do is look inside Anthony Kim's golf bag. Usually, a professional golfer has a massive multi-million-dollar corporate deal. They have 14 clubs from one single brand. They wear the corporate hat. They are a walking, breathing billboard for a massive conglomerate. Look at Kim's setup in Adelaide. He had a Callaway driver. He hit tailor-made irons. He spun Titleist wedges. And he rolled putts with a Scotty Cameron. He had absolutely no equipment contract. He was a free agent in the truest, purest sense of the word. Why? Because when he initially returned, the corporate brands were terrified of him. They thought he was a PR risk. They assumed he would relapse or quit or embarrass them on television. No major sponsor wanted to attach their logo to his chest. So he built his own bag. He walked up to the equipment trucks and handpicked exactly what worked for his swing. He bet entirely on himself. Winning a professional tournament with a mixed bag is the ultimate power move. It tells the corporate giants, I don't need your money to win. I just need my tools. Bryson, who is famously obsessed with equipment engineering, recognizes this incredible independence. It's the mark of a master craftsman, not a corporate shill. We have to break down the actual physical golf that won him this tournament, because it was nothing short of a masterpiece. On Sunday, Kim started 5 shots back. In professional golf, spotting Jon Rahm and Bryson DeChambeau, a 5-shot lead is usually a guaranteed death sentence. Those guys are apex predators. They do not blow leads. But Kim didn't blink. He went out and shot a bogey-free 63. That is 9 under par, under the most intense pressure imaginable. He didn't scramble his way to a score. He put on a ball-striking clinic. He was hitting that signature choke-down driver cut that made him so lethal in 2008, finding the center of the fairway time and time again. His iron play was laser precise, gaining strokes on the field in every single approach category. While Rahm looked frustrated and DeChambeau struggled to find his rhythm, The 40-year-old ghost of golf's past played with the icy veins of an assassin. He caught the leaders by the back nine and completely suffocated the field. It wasn't a lucky day. It was a tactical dismantling of the best players on earth. But the moment that truly legitimized this entire comeback didn't happen on the 18 green in Australia. It happened in a press conference thousands of miles away. Tiger Woods, the ultimate defender of the PGA Tour and the man who literally shaped modern golf, was asked about Anthony Kim's victory. Tiger could have brushed it off. He easily could have given a generic answer and ignored the LIV Golf connection entirely. Instead, Tiger stopped, shifted his tone, and offered deep, emotional praise. He said, to see him struggle in life, and for him to come all the way back, and for him to win, and to be as devoted as he is to his family, it's a story in which you just have to wrap your heart around it. When Tiger Woods speaks, the entire golf world stops and listens. Tiger has been through his own dark valleys. He knows exactly what the media machine feels like from the inside. By validating Kim's return, Tiger stripped away all the petty politics. He forced the stubborn PGA Tour loyalists to stop looking at Kim as a LIV mercenary and start looking at him as a human being who survived hell. When your fiercest rival, the greatest player of all time, tells the world to wrap their hearts around your story, the debate is officially over. The true climax of this story wasn't the final putt dropping into the cup. It was what happened exactly 3 seconds later. As the crowd erupted, Anthony Kim didn't look at the cameras. He didn't point to the sky or beat his chest. He turned around, dropped to his knees, and opened his arms as his young daughter, Bella, ran onto the 18th green. He buried his face in her shoulder, and the stoic, hardened armor finally broke. This is the entire reason he came back. He didn't come back for the Saudi money. He didn't come back to prove the Golf Channel wrong. He came back because he wanted his little girl to have memories of her father as a champion, not as a broken man hiding in the shadows. He wanted to change the trajectory of his family's legacy. When he hugged Bella, he wasn't celebrating a golf tournament. He was celebrating the fact that he was alive, present, and victorious in the one role that actually mattered, being a father. Bryson DeChambeau's comments in Adelaide weren't just about being a good loser. They were about recognizing pure human survival. LIV Golf desperately needed legitimacy. Bryson needed legitimate, cutthroat competition. And Anthony Kim simply needed a believer. We have to give massive credit to the architect behind all of this, Greg Norman. Norman took a massive, highly criticized risk. He orchestrated the buyout of Kim's insurance policy. He gave him a roster spot when every pundit on television confidently declared that he was crazy. This historic win completely validates Norman's entire strategy. It proves that LIV Golf isn't just an exhibition league for billionaires. It can actually be a place of redemption and rehabilitation. It proves that a league can create new stars, not just buy old ones. Anthony Kim's victory wasn't just a comeback. It was a complete resurrection. And the sports world will never look at him, or the possibilities of human resilience, the same way ever again.